One of my favourite things to do is get out into nature and reflect on scripture. So today I thought it'd be fun if we took a walk around this beautiful woods and talked about one of my favourite passages from the Bible. The passage we're going to talk about is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 13 to 14. With only 21 words in these two verses combined, they're really short, but they pack a punch. There's so much wisdom and instruction in here. So let's read through the passage together and then we can start breaking it down. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men, be strong. Let all your things be done with charity. 1 Corinthians was written by Paul, and it was a letter to a church in a Greek city called Corinth. Now this was written almost 2,000 years ago, and it was written to a church of people that were corrupt, they were immoral, and this letter was written by Paul to bring them back on track. That's amazing. This letter was almost 2,000 years old, but still today we can get so much from it. So it starts with watch ye, and this is Paul warning that there's going to be many enemies against the church and that we've got to be continually on our guard. But the warning from Paul isn't just about looking out for evil. It's also about looking out for opportunities to do good, good for ourselves and good for others around us. Although this is a warning, I find it pretty encouraging. We're being called to look out for each other, to make sure that no one's drawn away from the faith and that we follow the gospel. I can really relate to this first part of verse 13. Watch ye, like watch yourself, watch your own behaviour, watch what you say, watch how you act. All those things are being seen by other people and they affect them. It's incredible just how powerful these words are. When we read them and apply them to our lives, they really change us. I know for me, I can apply this on a personal level. It's really stopped me sometimes from saying things that perhaps before I thought were funny or derogatory to someone else. Now there's something in my head that just stops me. It stops me saying these things. It's amazing how two words can have so much depth and meaning to them. It's just watch ye. But when you think about it and reflect on it and then apply it to your life, it can just have such a dramatic change on you. Now this is just the start of the verse. We've still got 3 more parts to go, and then verse 14 too. Next, we've got stand fast in the faith. Now this is all about standing firm in your beliefs, staying true to the gospel, standing up for what you believe in. And this is partly why I've started this channel. When I first started it, I was doing it under a different name. It's called Handwritten Faith. And I was hiding behind the Bible. I didn't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera now. This is well out of my comfort zone. But I just felt called to do it. If I truly believe what I'm reading in the Bible, then I've got to apply it to my life. And this is one of those steps to do that. We're all going to be called to do something different, and we're going to stand firm in our faith in our own way. But we're all going to get things that are going to try and block our path in life. And so this is encouraging us to stay true to what we believe in, stand up for our faith. But I think it's also telling us to share the gospel whenever we get the opportunity. Next up, we've got quit you like men. Now this is another part of the verse that really hit home to me. This is all about being brave, being bold in our faith, acting like men, supporting our families, our friends, looking out for each other. And again, I was being a coward. I was hiding behind the camera. And after reading this, it just really made me think I have to do something more. I have to put myself out there where I'm least comfortable. I can't hide behind things anymore. Now, this isn't about being like hard or mean or macho, but it's about taking responsibility for your life and for those who you're supporting. And the final part of verse 13 is to be strong. Now, this isn't to be physically strong. And really, I don't think it's about being strong for yourself. It's about talking to God, praying, asking for his strength, because that's the strength that's going to get you through life. Now, the good news is that strength is abundant. So anytime we're feeling like we can't do anything or we can't make it, we can call out to God and we can ask him to give us the strength we need to get through. Now, on my website, I've got my testimony, and these words from this verse are included in that. And they mean a lot to me, because there was a time when I didn't live up to all these things. I wasn't being the husband and the father that I wanted or needed to be for my family. And I'm still not there, and I don't think any of us are. This is a constant battle, and I think this is what Paul's reminding us. We've got to keep these things in mind, and every day, as part of my prayer, I'm always asking to be a better man, a better Christian, a better husband, a better father. And that's why I think this verse is so important. I'm asking God to give me the strength I need to be this better man. But here in the Bible, in verse 13 of chapter 16 of 1 Corinthians, we've got the actual instructions. It's telling us how to do it, how to be that better man. So all we have to do really is keep reading it, keep it in our mind, and act it out and apply it to our lives. And the more we do that, the more we get into that feedback loop. Now, of course, we're going to fail. That's all part of the process. We're going to keep failing. We're going to keep tripping up. There's going to be times when we don't follow these instructions and we don't act like men, or we are cowards, or we're not as strong as we want to be. We haven't got that strength that we need yet. And that's okay, as long as we just keep working on this. And one of the best things I've done in my life, it's totally changed my whole mindset, is to read and reflect on the Bible every day. Of course, 1 or 2 days here and there, I might miss it, but pretty much for this year in 2025, I've been reading the Bible every day, and it's just changed my life in so many ways. I can't recommend this enough. And on my website, there's a free PDF, which is a 7-day scripture and reflection journal, if you like, that you can download totally free. And then that can help you to get started and get you into the habit of reading, reflecting and praying every day, because it will change you. There's so much to it. But now let's get back to the scripture with verse 14. And this goes, "Let all your things be done with charity." This is such a clever line to include after these instructions in verse 13. We're called to act like men, be strong, be watchful, all these kind of military terms. It feels so masculine. But now he's saying, let all your things be done with charity. And he's not saying some of your things, he's clearly saying all of your things, everything you do. What a simple rule. Everything you do, let it be done with charity. And what this means is with love. So if you're reading a different version of the Bible, it's going to be using the word love instead of charity. I think this is just awesome. We're called to be strong, but to be strong with love. Because strength on its own, that's not enough. But strength with love, that's something powerful. That's something our families, our friends can rely on. If we can be men with strength of character, acting out of kindness, with charity, with love, I mean, that's a beautiful way to go through your life. And it's not just about, or not just applied to strength. Remember, Paul's saying, in everything you do, all things. Now, this is a beautiful encouragement. But to be honest, as I'm walking and thinking about this now, it's just making me realise how many times I'm messing up and how many times I'm not acting with love or with charity. How I could be kind, but I'm not. How I could choose to act one way, but I go the other. And it's so frustrating because I want to be good. I want to live my life with love, but there's just those times when I'm just not doing it. And that's why this verse is such a powerful reminder that we have to keep going back to. It's not a one and done thing. We can't just read it and then just forget about it and move on to something else. I think this is one of those verses that you can just keep going back to almost daily, reminding yourself and just keeping that guidance, that instruction and encouragement that Paul gave out so many years ago and apply it to your life today. There we go. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verses 13 and 14. And I'm feeling pretty motivated after that, but I'm also feeling pretty reflective, and I'll be thinking about those times where I'm not acting in love. Certainly going forward today, that's something I'm going to just dwell on and just think about. And what I like to do after I've gone through scripture and done some reflecting on it, I like to think about how I can incorporate it into my daily prayer. And I think today I'll certainly be asking for that strength, but also for those changes that I want to see in myself. And I'll be asking for God's help that I can keep going forward, be strong for my family, but also do everything and act out of love and charity and kindness. As great as that sounds, I know it's not easy and it's going to take a lot of work for sure. But I hope you got something out of this walk today, and it's been great to just walk around the woods. There's a beautiful woods here in southeast Cornwall, and I'll put a link down below to that book I was talking about if you want to get hold of that, and it's totally free. And then hopefully if that'll help you get into this kind of awesome cycle of prayer, scripture and reflection. I'd love to know what you think about 1 Corinthians, so add your comments down below as well. And each week I'll be coming back out to the woods, to the moorlands, out in nature, sharing different passages from scripture. And so if you want to come and join me for the next one, it'd be great to see you. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.